Oh, wait a minute. I get too many things on. Couldn't get any on last week. I've got too many things. Greetings and welcome to Temple Report with me, your guest presenter, Jim Dawson. I don't know if we're going to get through this today because we're glitching out a wee bit here and there, but it's getting better. Last week was a bit of a nightmare. I don't really know what happened at all. It went a bit strange, but we'll see how we go on today. It just went all of a sudden. I think there was a camera setting wrong or something, and then the sound went. So I'm sorry about that. My apologies. Let's just pray that we get through the show today without incident. Nick tried to go in yesterday, but he was in a rush because his wife fell and broke her wrist to go to hospital. So he was in a mad rush. I think he just pressed the wrong button. But I think we're up and running, especially at his end. It's my end. It's my computer's giving me a bit of problems. But anyway, that's the way it is. Who have we got here? Dear me. John Kopasagi, how you doing, brother? Nice to see you. Peter Holden. Westover, thank you. Nice to see you in here. Brian Payton, how you doing? Ken Woods there. Roger Madison, how are you? Mitch Cameron, how you doing, Mitch and Sherry? Ewan Eggerstrom, how you doing, Ewan? Nice to see you, brother. What have we got here? What did I see? Ewan Eggerstrom, yes. Let me see. Mitch Cameron, yeah. Getting better. Good. Hugo de Castello, Scottish brethren, how you doing? Troy's there as well. How you doing, Troy? Gary Hardwick's there. Nice to see you and Gary. Nice to see you. Who else? Christopher Strid, yes. Nice to see you. Yeah, we've got a good old crowd in today, haven't we? Goodness sake. Nick Griffin's in as well. My goodness, Nick Griffin's in as well. No, that's not. I'm on the wrong page. What am I doing here? This is the right thing I've got. What am I doing? Aye, that's better. I'm on the wrong one there. Aye, but Joseph Taylor's in as well. Peter Road, how you doing? Andy Lightman, nice to see you. Kit Bear, nice to see Kit Bear again. And Scott Phillips in Texas. How are you? God bless you, one and all. We bit of scripture to read today. I'm in the what's that there? I'm in the Psalms. Psalms are great, you know. I want to read Psalm 39 and the verse 11. Hear ye the Lord. When thou with rebukes dost correct man for iniquity, thou makest his beauty to consume away like a moth. Surely every man is vanity. Selah. Amen. And we know the Lord will add his blessing to us. The public reading was infallible, inspired, and inerrant word. And the people of God said, amen and amen. And that's what that's all what all men are vanity. It's just vanity. That's all we are. And then we die. And that's what really matters, where we're going after that, where our final destination is. That's the important thing. So there we are. Well, deep condolences to our Canadian brethren over that shooting at, I can never remember the name of it, Ridge, some Ridge. I can't remember it. Tumbler Ridge school shooting. 9 dead, I think. 8 dead plus him. 25, 30 injured. And again, another trans. That's every single school shooting in the last year and a half, 2 years maybe, been a trans person. If that doesn't tell you there's something really wrong with these people, I don't know what does. But that's every single school shooting has been carried out by a trans maniac because they're maniacs. There's something deeply wrong with them. In fact, I've got a picture of this boy somewhere. Where is he? Here he is. Have a look. This is the guy that done it. Have a look at this guy. Seriously. What on earth? I mean, well, what can you say? You know, when somebody's that disturbed and crazy, but anybody who wants to change their gender, obviously they're crazy. You know, it would have been a debating point 10 years ago. Somebody doesn't know what gender they're obviously mental. But this is, the woke agenda is not just a silly wee thing that's neutral, it's just silly people being daft. This is serious because it's encouraging young people to self-mutilate. Young people maybe not to seek the help they needed. And ultimately, I believe, it's maybe a controversial view, but I honestly believe this is demonic possession. I don't think this is just a simple case of wacko parents just allowing their kids doing one. I think this is demonic possession. And that's how I feel also about homosexuality. I had an old mentor of mine. His name was Father Thwaites. He was a Roman Catholic Jesuit priest. He started off as an Anglican priest, and he was in the Japanese prisoner of war camps. Anyway, he converted to Catholicism and became a Jesuit, a real one. Not one of these modern liberal ones, a real Jesuit. No, hardline old boy. And I really got on well with him. They liked me. He called me a heretic, but anyway, I called him an idolater, so it didn't matter. But he was a lovely man. And he told me that many mental illnesses and homosexuality is demonic possession. It's not a brain thing. It's not a health issue. It's a spiritual issue. It's demonic possession. And, you know, I've been involved with running churches and missions long enough in life to realize that he's actually correct. He's actually correct. You know, what you seen there was not somebody who was just off their head. It was somebody who was possessed with demons. Possessed with a demon. Now, I know that's a controversial thing, but look, you know, I'm no crazy charismatic then. I'm a very old-fashioned reform fella. I don't get in for this kind of stuff. But I'm telling you, demonic possession is powerful today, and many people are demonically possessed, especially middle-aged women. I've seen it, so many of them. It's not just being they're mad because they're going through the menopause or whatever. 70% of women over the age of 40 in this country, that's 70% of women over the age of 40 are on psychotropic drugs. That's not to stop them being as nutty as they could be. That's to stop the demons in them getting out and manifesting. Because remember, probably 60%, near enough the same, of all women in the UK have had at least one abortion in their lifetime. Did you know that? No. Yep. So, and I believe that is also an outward sign of demon possession, is child sacrifice. So these people, by doing these abortions, I think, invite demons into them. It's the same as playing the Ouija board and things like that. This is what I honestly think. That's what I honestly think. And because of that, then they become infested with demons. And this is the behaviour you see in their, when they get to the sort of middle age. They go absolutely mental. Women in their 40s and 50s, they go crazy, don't they? I mean, we know this. What's the reason for it? I think these are the cumulative reasons for it. There you go. Yeah. Andy Lightman says, hello, Paul, how are you in the family? Oh, yes. It's good to see. Unhinged, possessed, not half. Yeah, absolutely. Demon possessed, 100%. Yep, 100%. Demon possessed. No doubt about it. But there we go. So our deepest condolences to our Canadian brothers for that horrible event. And of course, our prayers go to the families and of those who have been bereaved at this particular time. So God bless Canada and God bless all our brothers and sisters who live in that part of the world. And I hope none of these were affected. I don't know. But it always worries me in case some of your people have been affected. It doesn't matter who's affected, but it's particularly bad if we know them. So it's not good. Anyway, moving on. Let's see what we've got here. Let's see. I don't know what I showed you the other day, and I don't know what I never showed you. I can't remember if I showed you this, but let's have a quick look at it anyway. This is what passes now. Remember, a lot of foreigners will get the impression of the policeman in Britain, the old British Bobby, the copper. You know, that sounded like Dick Van Dyke there. But anyway, no, it's so crazy. And the demographic collapse is so bad now that we're taking anybody. I mean, half our prison officers are foreigners that can hardly speak a word of English. Now we're getting cops the same. Listen to this guy. I mean, it's farcical.
What you say? What are you doing?
Just carry on.
Stacy, I have the belief that you may be in possession of drug.
What?
Yes, I got the belief that you may be in possession of drug.
Are you even an officer? Stop being rude and just listen to him.
That's why I want to search you.
What's your name first before you search me?
I want to search you under section 23.
Yeah, 23, can I have your name, please?
Say calling number, Michael.
My calling number is 08387. 08387.
Where are you based?
I'm down Longside Police Station.
And what do you want to do search me?
I have the reason to believe that you may be in possession of drug.
And possession of drugs?
Yeah.
Mind boggles, doesn't it? But I put that up on the Twitter page the other day. The area we went, get all these Muslims out. He's not a Muslim, he's a Christian. This is where the dilemma comes in with the non-ethno-nationalists, just the civic nationalists. They are ethno-nationalists. They don't want to admit it because they don't want to be racist. I would kick that guy's butt out of this country in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. I don't care what religion he is. He shouldn't be here. No harm to the man. If he's a good Christian man, his country needs him. We do not. But I mean, imagine putting that in uniform out in the street and questioning British people. Like, the man could hardly string an English sentence together. He could barely even pronounce English words. It's utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. So I don't know. It's crazy. What have I got? Jonathan Stewart family, good morning, everyone. First time making it to a live broadcast. Well, you might be in for a shock. My camera might go again, who knows? Anyway, I'm putting this up here. Okay, I'm putting this up here for the lads. We've managed to secure, we have now got the, let me see, we have now got the police vests, they're ex-police vests with the things on it for the clips. We're just waiting, the cameras coming now, and the torches, and the comm stuff. So we have actually got these in England. So we've got them there over in England right now. I'll be going over soon to talk to the lads and we'll get some video footage and all that. Kit Bear, I'll give you a bell as well if you want to nip down. It's just north of Manchester, okay? Exactly. So see, but we're getting the stuff, but still, remember what these guys are doing. There's a lot of stuff they need, and I want to thank everybody who's been throwing money in for it, but we're not there yet. So please continue, and I want to especially take this opportunity to thank one of your dear brothers who put in a very extraordinary extraordinary gift towards the building fund. Really took a bit of pressure off. I mean, there's a long way to go, but massive amount of pressure took off us there. So absolutely amazing, really amazing. So there we go. Yeah. What's this here we've got? Have I missed something there? Who's MP? Oh, no problem. Aye, okay. Excellent. It's crazy stuff. So let's try and get some more in for this equipment these guys need. See it. I wonder if I never put one on, actually. I maybe put a new shop advert on and show you. I wonder if Ewan, could you stick a link up to the shop? Because we've got a new shop now, you know. I don't know if I could possibly get a video in here. I'll try and show you one of the shop ad videos because they're very good. I can try and do it. Let me see if I can do it. Let me see. Hold on. Wait a minute. I'll see if I can do it. I don't think I can do it when I'm live. Oh, no. Everyone's went funny. Sorry. We can do it. We can do it. Okay, I think we can do it. Thought I'd lost you there. Good grief. Yeah, we'll get a shop ad up because we've got some new ads for the shop and they're very good. So, yeah. Now, there was a carry on. I don't know if I showed you this the other day, but I think I did. But I want to go through it again and reiterate why we take nothing whatsoever to do with these so-called nationalists that are on about Britain now. When these guys are all going to these athletic clubs, they're all keeping fit, and on the surface it looks good. On the surface. But I know a lot of these, I can't remember what you call them, they're not called athletic clubs, they're called something clubs. But nearly all of them are drawn from a party, an organisation called Patriotic Alternative, run by Mark Collett, who's a Fed, no doubt about it. I worked with him in the BNP 20 years ago. Absolutely untrustworthy character. And he was the guy who was behind National Action, who got prescribed, and nearly all of them got to jail. Some people get 20 odd years in jail. He walked away. Then he started this thing, and it's very strange. And they're taking photographs and all that. This guy is unbelievable. And you don't get away with this type of stuff out in the British street. You'll be lifted in a heartbeat. He gets away with it. So active clubs, that's what you call them, active clubs. But a lot of their men are drawn from this crowd. And it's caused a bit of controversy, even amongst, not so much the Templars, but people very close to the Templars. Even some, no, to be honest, some Templars. I've said I want nothing to do with these people. I want absolutely nothing to do with them. And the argument goes, well, only young fellas can come on. I've been dealing with these people for 30, 40 years of my life, maybe 40 years of my life. These type of people, they're Nietzscheans. They're National Socialists. They actually hate Christianity. And if there was a war tomorrow, I would sooner go for these guys than go for the Muslims at first, because the enemy within the trench is much worse than the enemy without the trench. And these guys aren't willing to learn. They're not willing to take advice. They just want to be Nietzscheans. Now, some of them are big lumps of guys, but I'm telling you, in 40 years I've been doing this, I find that a huge number of them are homosexual, bisexual, or into some weird porn stuff. And that came out when National Action, the group that was prescribed in Britain, when that all came out in court and their screens, the most filthy, disgusting really bad porn and gay porn and all the rest of it. And some of them actually get done with it. It was so disgusting. It was, level 1 where you can go to jail for. And this is the type of people we're talking with. So I know these people. And I wish people would listen to me, because I'm longer at this than everybody in this country apart from Nick Griffin. I know these people. They're scum. They will suck their lifeblood out. All of that. Christians shouldn't be dealing with these people. They're absolutely trash. We're all sinners. We know that. But these people revel in their sin, and there's no chance they want to come out of it. And if they did want to come out, they know who we are. They know where we are. They know where we are. They know where the Christian Nationalist Party are. They know where we are. They'll come out, but they'll leave that stuff behind. But this is them on Saturday. Have a look at this. I mean, can you imagine me doing this in the street? I'd be in jail before you could say Cock Robinson. I'd be gone. Have a look.
No, don't push me like that. Don't push me like that. Get away. You got to get through to He's attacking me. You're not shooting me. One of your officers pretty much slamming his hand, got in my face, swore at me.
They're all gone now, we're sure. Yeah, exactly.
14!
Should do it later on in court, and if you do say, maybe give an evidence, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, the reason is...
Well, that guy who was doing all this Sikh Highland, there's a guy called Ryan. Is it Ryan Ferguson? Something like that. Anyway, he's at it. He's another one of these people. These people of these groups, they suck well-meaning, good, young, patriotic men, and then their details are straight into the MI5, and then they end up in jail. So I refuse point blank to associate with such people, period. I just won't have anything to do with them ever. I've been dealing with them for 40 years of my life, and I know what like they are. And you notice that Aryan front. This is another thing I've noticed. Everybody who's into that white power, Aryan stuff, Sikh Heil, what is that, 14 words, all that garbage, all that nonsense, it's juvenile. None of them are fine specimens of the white race, are they? They're always weedy, pathetic, cowardly. Now, the thing is with him and Mark Collett, they're in that. They're the most cowardly people you ever meet. I've got a video that I can show you, but I won't, because I think, even though I don't like the guy, I think people's privacy and dignity needs to be respected. I've got pictures of him curled up on the couch like a girl. None of the girls tuck their legs under, and he's crying because big rough boys are in, say they're going to thump him, bad mouthing him because he's one of these bitchy guys, says a lot of stuff about people, and then guys come around to his house and say, what are you saying? He's crying, oh, please don't hurt me. This is a guy standing at that demo on Saturday on top of a soapbox, giving it, we will conquer this world again. We will conquer Britain. 14 words, I mean, seriously, these guys could not pull the skin off a rice pudding. They're moral cowards. They're physical cowards. And they're spiritually bereft of anything other than demonic influence. Simple as that. So, there we go. It's terrible. Ewan's put a link up to the new shop. Please have a look at it. It's very nice. It's very nice to shop, There's, wait a minute now. What did I see there? I seen Kit Bear saying something. Where am I? Oh dear, I don't know where it's went now. Oh, aye, Kit Bear said I watched Mark for a year and watched him and just found more reasons to dislike him. Oh, listen, I know him personally. He is a disgusting, horrible, vile individual. I'll give you an example. He was in the BNP. When I was in the BNP, I get rid of him because he was stealing all the money. And during that time, he done a plot to kill me. This is Jen up. This is serious. This is absolutely, Nick Griffin will back it up. And he went to somebody and paid them £10,000 to come up through. I was in Spain at the time, to come up through Gibraltar and go to Spain to the village I was living in at the time, and to wait till I was out walking my kids, because my kids were wee totes at the time. Sammy was only 3 or 4. Wait till I was walking up the street with Sammy and come up behind me and stab me in the kidneys and phone him and give him the code word, the cat is in the bag, and stab me in the kidneys so I would die a kind of painful death while I was out walking with wee Sammy when he was 3 years old. This is what this guy had done. But he told somebody and they taped him. He was on tape saying all this. And the guy with the 10 grand got caught trying to get into Spain with the 10 grand. And he spilled the beans as well. Mark Collett never spent a day in jail for that. That was dropped. The police arrested him. All the rest of it was dropped. Despite him being on tape, despite 2 people testifying that he'd done this. And he got out and he was giving me a lot of jip. And during that time, we were the upset and the king. My wife had a miscarriage in Spain. And he actually phoned me up and laugh manically like that guy we seen a minute ago, laughing down the phone. Your baby's dead. That's the type of guy he is. This is the type of weasel, horrible creature that man is. And, people expect me to take anything to do with these people. Not in this life or any other life. Not a chance. I don't forget things like that. Anyway, so that's the type of people we're dealing with. Is there an active InfoWar against our cause? Sure, there always is. Of course there is. There's always InfoWars against our cause. Better believe it. But I wouldn't use that term InfoWars because he's another one. I want to trust him as far as I go throw him that Alex Jones. He's not like that guy. But anyway, that's the type of guy Matt Call is, and he's the kind of chief of all these people and very influential with all these folk. And not for me. No, thank you. But even after that, years later, I actually felt sorry for him and I sort of tried to bring him around to Christianity. And he actually signed a copy of his book, The Western Man or something, The Fall of Western Man. And he actually signed it and said, you've really helped me on my life and that. Because that's my job. But I don't like the guy. And he's back to his old ways. So I'm afraid, the Bible says, like a dog returneth to its vomit. I believe that's in the Proverbs. A dog returneth to its vomit, and that's what he's done. So I'll have nothing to do with these people, and I don't want you people exposed to them either. So there we go. The patrol idea. This is what I joined for. Absolutely. Yep. The patrol is very good. And as I say, we've got a lot of the stuff now, but we need some more. So please, I'll put the link up again if you don't mind, folks. It's great having these things and have these guys prepared to go on the ground. And they've had a lot of grief. The diocesan pulled them into church because there's a right rough bunch, but they've been taking a lot of kids to the church and the church tried to ban them. You've had all that carry on, that they're having to do these courses through the local council. Oh, you've no idea. They're having a lot of grief, but they're still doing it. And that's wonderful. Anyway, here's one of those ads for the shops. Have a wee look.
At TemplarStore.com, faith is not something we hide, it's something we proclaim. We're proud to launch our new Christian apparel collection, available now on hoodies, t-shirts and sweatshirts, featuring the Jerusalem cross with the words, Christ is King, a bold declaration of faith, and our powerful new design bearing the face of Jesus, proclaiming, Viva Cristo Rey, long live Christ the King. Wear your faith with pride. Visit TemplarStore.com today.
What'd you think of that? Viva Christus Rey, long live Jesus Christ. I think it's good. There's some people say, that's a wee bit blasphemous, I think. I don't think so. Well, it's a play on, yes, we know it's a play on the Che Guevara image, but why not? Christ is the original revolutionary, wasn't he? Looking forward to receiving my Templar Axe. Oh, good stuff. Well, I'll visit the shop. Absolutely. It is. It's all good stuff. It's excellent. So anyway, moving on. I'm a wee bit mixed up because I can't remember what I showed you and what I didn't show you the other day. But there we go. We'll see. This is a good wee video I found. Islam in Europe. Have a wee look at this and it'll give you an idea of where we are right now. But remember, my American friends, where we are now, you will be in 10 years, okay? Remember that in America and Canada. Canada's actually nearly there already, to be honest. Have a wee look.
Christianity in Europe was about to fall. In 1683, the Ottoman Empire surrounded Vienna. 300,000 soldiers, 2 months of siege. The Christian defenders were days from collapse. Then something appeared on the mountain. 18,000 cavalrymen at the front, 3,000 Polish hussars with eagle feathers on their backs and crosses on their armor, the winged hussars. Before the charge, they knelt, held mass, and sang to the Mother of God. Then they rode down in what became the largest cavalry charge in human history. The story goes, the Ottomans saw wings coming down that mountain and didn't think men were charging. They thought archangels were. Those 300,000 soldiers shattered. The hussars weren't angels, but they wore the wings for a reason. Strength that doesn't wait, faith that charges.
The winged hussars, and I've been to Poland many times in the university, I was in the military place, and they still have some of the suits and armors with the wings on them that was used that day. It's incredible, isn't it? Yep. John Kopasaki says, "Hey, Paul, I love the Temeract so much. I put a second one." We got axes kicking about here. Okay. Don't have any in here. We may wave one about in a menacing fashion. But the Wing Hussars, what a bunch, yeah. Fantastic. And that's what saved the bacon at the gates of Vienna. And that wasn't that long ago. It was almost 1700. You forget that these boys were right up into Europe. And before that, in tours, hundreds of years before that, they got right up middle of the way into France. I tell you, they're at it all the time. Lady Matriarch, how you doing, sister? She says, marvellous. Absolutely. It's marvellous indeed. But here's the thing that's quite refreshing. In Australia, all these Muslims were doing a load of nonsense. And for the first time that I've ever seen, the police actually done something. I'm sure they'll all get sacked now for doing it, but have a look.
Guys, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my God! What are you doing? Stop! Stop! Listen to him.
Now, I don't know where that building was, but obviously the one that's supposed to be there and praying there. But you hear all the lefties screaming, "Leave them alone, they're only praying." Yet when the lefties come across us praying outside an abortion clinic, Catholics standing silently doing the rosary, they scream abuse at us and want to attack us and demand the police arrest us because this is outrageous. But when the Muslims are doing it, leave them alone, they're only praying, they're only praying. The moral schizophrenia in the left wing is absolutely staggering, isn't it? It's totally staggering. But that's the way to do it. And, we've got a problem in this country, Muslims climbing over the fence into the grounds of Westminster Abbey and doing their caterwauling to a demon god. It's unbelievable. But that's it. The cops done well. But I guarantee they're getting in a lot of trouble about that. A lot of trouble. But it just shows you, the lefties, they're all over the place, aren't they? But remember, when this civil war breaks out, which it will, it won't just be fighting Muslims. It'll be Muslims with the left. And that's quite dangerous because the Muslims, they can fight a bit, but the left can't fight really. But they're very clever, the left. There are a lot of them very intellectual, professors and so on and so forth. So they'll be the sort of brains behind the jihadis. And that will make them a very dangerous foe indeed. Very, very dangerous. And I think people need to understand that. And again, another reason I don't hang about with those neo-Nazis we've seen earlier is they're all chanting this. They believe in this utter nonsense, this childish nonsense, remigration. I know it's a catchy thing and they say it, and I've said it occasionally, remigration, but I've stopped saying it because it's silly. It's not going to happen. There's 20 million of those people now in this country. How can you get rid of them? Just saying it. Or remigration, they all need to leave. They all need to get out now. Every one of them. How? Am I for that? In principle, yes, I am. I'd love every single one of them to go. However, I lived through a civil war. I lived through communal violence in this country. There was only 4,000 people killed here. But it was horrific because it was one street. If you come to Northern Ireland, you'll see them. We've got the peace line. We never really take people on the tour of them because I'm sure you see it at the telly. We've got, still to this day, different districts in Belfast. We've got more, in fact, we've got more peace walls now since the peace broke out than we did during the war. But streets divided by 40-foot fences. Streets, people's back back gardens are up against the fence to keep us separated. And I mean, there's certain towns in this country, like Strabane and Castle Derg and places like that. They look like something after the Second World War. And when you flew over Berlin over 1945, the destruction. Some of our towns and villages look like that here in Northern Ireland. So that's what 1.5 million white Christians done to each other, trying to get these people out of Britain. Remigration. It will make the Balkans look like a Vickers Tea Party. That's the reality. Now, am I against that? Not necessarily so. I just want everybody to be aware this is what you're in for, and this is what you're going to spark off with trying to remigrate these people. And by this kind of talk, you're frightening them. They're now getting into a siege mentality. Like my people got, because we used to be told that we were going to be driven into the sea and kicked out of Ireland by the Irish because we were foreigners, which we're not. But, that gave us a siege mentality. So when anybody come near us, we got very prickly, and it led to a civil war. And you've got people like these guys that you seen there on Saturday. They couldn't fight sleep. They're cowardly men. They're not big, tough men who will say, okay, give us the stuff and we'll get wired in. They will run a mile if there's any violence, just even a punch-up violence. They wouldn't even get into that now. I mean, guns. Do you see what I'm saying? It's pathetic. And you really need to speak to people like the Serbians who've been through a civil war, who've been through internecine warfare. It's horrible. It's the worst form of violence because your neighbours are trying to kill you. You're trying to kill your neighbours. It's horrific. But we have to do something. But remigration is childish. It's a silly, childish notion that people need to disavow themselves of. It's not going to happen. You'd be as well saying, look, there's going to be a civil war. Let's prepare for it. Let's start getting ready for it. That's acceptable, and that's something I could buy into. But just saying remigration is cowardly. It's another way. It's like the people who say, oh, if we just vote the right people in, it's cowardly. So some people are hiding behind a ballot box. Other people are hiding behind remigration. Other people are hiding behind 14 words neo-Nazi nonsense. Other people are hiding behind white power Aryanism. All of these people have got one thing in common. They're pathetic and they don't do anything. And they don't even help people like our lads in the street there doing the patrols. They'll never get involved in a patrol. No way. No way. So don't be taken in with these people. They're dreadful. Yeah. Price on the K-bar is very good, of course. And it's a real K-bar. It's a real deal. It's called a J.W. Waterman knife. That's its actual real name rather than K-bar. It's the knife that was used in the Second World War. Lady Matriarch says, never something too modern. Comfortable life, exactly. Take a lot of poverty to fight. Exactly, it does, yes. Exactly. Ewan says that is why our members need to visit places like Ireland and Serbia and meet our members and allies to learn about this. Absolutely, Ewan. And we should do that. We should actually maybe organise a trip to Serbia or, well, Northern Ireland, apart from a knighting ceremony. You should come in Northern Ireland and see what a civil war amongst our people looks like. It's horrible. Horrible. By the way, there is a big. But I'll say he's all. I want everybody to really remember my brother Misha Vac, who's in Serbia, Belgrade. He's a very good friend of ours. He's desperately unwell. He was diagnosed with cancer, and he's undergoing extraordinarily powerful. What do you call that? Chemotherapy, and it's really knocked him for six. I spoke to him the other day, and oh my goodness, he's only a young man as well. He's only a young man. And he's really strong. He's just a wee baby and everything. He's a hero in that country. He's just a star. He's a superstar. And he's a very, very, very good friend of this order. Very good friend. Now, saying that, there's a big event coming up in May in Serbia. A big, big event happening in May in Serbia. If anybody wanted to go to it, let us know. Let me know, or Ewan know. There's a big event with the APF, that's the Association for Peace and Freedom. It's a pan-European hardcore right-wing organisation. So there'll be people there from Spain, from Italy. Now, the Italians are all fascists, I've got to warn you. The Spanish are phalangists. They're after the Franco boy. It's hardline, it's hardcore. But there's a big thing there. It'll be a big, big event. So if anybody wants to go there in Serbia, let us know and we'll see what we can do. But please pray for brother Misha Vac. He's a dear brother of mine. I mean, I love him like a brother. he's too young for this, you know. He's only in his 30s, the man. He's only in his 30s. When I get told I was going, I'm getting old. I'm 60. It doesn't matter. But he's a half my age. He's just a wee baby and everything. It's just horrible. I don't like thinking about it, but we have to. So please pray for brother. And he's a wild man. He's a wild man. He's tough as all boots as well. But I spoke to him. He just came out. He'd been sleeping for about 3 days after his chemo. This is what he said to me. Brother, I will kill. I will destroy. I will annihilate this cancer. That's what he said. That's quite a good impression of him, actually. That's what he said. He will kill, destroy, and annihilate the cancer. So let's pray that the Lord God Almighty reaches down and just snuffs that cancer out on him. He's too young. Okay. Landy Lightfoot has spoken to Phalanges regular in Andalus here. Yeah, well, these are really hardcore guys. Now, they're not from down there. They're from up Madrid way. They're from up Madrid. But they're good guys. I know them well. I think Ewan knows maybe some of them. They're good guys. All our people are good guys. I mean, all these people you see, they're now coming and going. We've been here for decades. We're still here. Oh, and talking about weird things that's happening. You'll love this one, Kit. The other day there, allegedly, somebody told me yesterday, Tommy Robinson was dropped £6 million in crypto. Somebody gave him a gift, £6 million in crypto. I wonder who. Elon. Elon. I don't know. But anyway, but the same person told me his income at the moment is running between £8 and £10 million per year. There's pictures of his son on a private jet. His son's 16. He's wearing about 120 grand's worth of gear, 60 grand watches, £5,000 trainers. How's that even possible? And he's with his black friends, his Negro friends, and they're all gold chains, all that stuff. Private jet. No good will come in a 16-year-old boy living like that. But that's the way it's going. So all these people are coming and going, all these people that pop up, I'm right wing, I'm right. Well, you wouldn't even know who they are. They won't even be here in 2 years, 5 years. All our people, the Italians, Roberto Fiore, you're on Sforza Nova, the Phalanges in Spain, the Greek Golden Dawn guys, all these folk, these people have been about for decades. They're tried and tested, and that's the type of people we associate with. The Poles, there are several groups in Poland we're friendly with, so they'll all be there. There you go. But that's not from regular donations. You're no kidding. Seemingly he's been getting money off Israel. We know that. But he's also been getting money from Russia. Never gave us any money. So there you go. It's about money from foreign, UAE and all these people getting him money. It's crazy. It's just the way it is. But he's trying to convince folk. He's got a big article in the Jerusalem Post. I mean, he never wrote it. He can hardly string a sentence together. Saying that the Epstein thing was a massive Russian spy ring. I'm not joking. A Russian spy ring. Seriously, a Russian spy ring. It's pathetic. But they just wheel wee Tommy out and again just to that. He's got to work for a shekel, Nothing. You don't get nothing for nothing, do you? So there we go. Anyway, to cheer us up a wee bit before we I've got this up twice. I don't know why. Here is a lovely wee bit of band. I know you like the bands. Who's in here? He's no in today. Somebody said he likes the bands. Tom likes the bands, but he's not here. But I know other people like the bands. Here's Kilclooney. Kilclooney volunteers from down on the border near the Irish Republic, right on the border. And nearly every single person you see in this video, all these young men have lost a father, an uncle, a brother, a cousin to the Irish Republican Marxist pinko commie terrorists. So have a wee look at them. Fine bunch of men. Have a wee look. Sorry, I better tell you first. This is then at the Menem Gate. That's the big gate in Belgium where the names of 68,000 people, that's the people whose bodies were never found. They were just mashed up in the trench warfare. They were just gone. They just never found anything to do with them. So they've etched their names. Every single bit of this, all on the inside, all on the outside, is all men's names. And I've been there with McGriffin. We went with our temper stuff on, and people were actually bowing down before us. And it was bizarre. And there's a lot of Newfoundlanders there who all speak Irish. Who knew? But have a wee look. This is them doing their respects at the Menem Gate. Wonderful tribute to the fallen men in the First World War. 68,000, I think, names. You can't see it. They're getting it repaired. It's all covered in scaffolding there, but 68,000 names there. I've been there. It's very, very moving. Extraordinarily moving. Paul's been there as well. He was there with the BNP. And remember that trip? I think my wife was on that trip actually as well. Aye, it's very moving indeed. But there we are. That's, aye, it's sad, isn't it? It's definitely definitely a sad thing. But if you ever get a chance to go to northern France, Belgium, do it, because you drive through miles and miles and miles of crosses, white crosses, all over the hills, all over the fields. It's unbelievable. Now, there's new stuff springing up in Ireland all the time. This has been about a bit, but it's out again. There's some crowd that are Republicans in the south that are not communists, that are actually Irishmen, which I can deal with. I'm fine with good Irish Catholics. Irish communists, I'm not so keen on. I'm not keen on any communists. Don't care if they're American, British, Irish, or from Timbuktu. But these are guys who maybe were part of the IRA at one point and seen the error of their ways and how the Sinn Féin IRA are bringing in all the immigrants. And they've said, no, we're not having this. So they've formed this new group. And of course, the Irish aren't like the rest of us. When the Irish have a problem with people, the English would write a strong letter to the Times and say, signed it off, angry from Tunbridge Wells. The Scottish maybe have a wee demo. The Irish say, listen, that's all very well, but let's just cut to the chase. They kill people. That's why the Irish are. That's the way they are. See you later then. That's the way they are. So here's this new crowd now who are threatening to do just that if people don't listen to them, especially the local politicians. Have a wee look. I'm sure the politicians are having kittens. Have a look.
To the people of Newry, Mourne and Down, we, the New Republican Movement, have watched their councillors and MLAs over the past 12 months. The level of disrespect shown to the people who put you into power, this cannot be ignored any longer. We are proud men of Ireland. We are patriots. Your policies and decision-making regards to flooding our communities with undocumented military-aged men is not acceptable. We will not sit back any longer and watch our culture and religion destroyed by the people we put in power. Also, the sexual indoctrination of our children in schools has not went unnoticed either. The New Republican Movement will take immediate action against anyone who threatens our ways of life and the safety of our women and children. We have your addresses and known your movements. Every one of you are legitimate targets as of today. The New Republican Movement, the 28th of 11/25.
Well then, so they're not only against the immigrants, they're against the sex education indoctrination in the schools as well. And they're telling the councillors and the official representatives, we know who you are, we know where you live, and we've been monitoring your movements. Scary stuff. Let's hope it's real. Let's hope they mean it. But I suppose, when you get to a certain stage, what else can you do with these people? What else can you do with them? They're not listening to anybody. They don't care about anybody. But when these guys are maybe after you, you maybe start paying attention. I don't know. It's not for me to condone or promote such a thing. I'm just telling you, that's what's happening. And the Irish have been driven to the edge of distraction and they don't know what else to do. So they resort to what their fathers and grandfathers did when they were fighting English oppression. They get guns. That's what the Irish do. And they're very good at it. They're not messing about, these people. If you know anything about Irish folk, you should know that. You go to New York or Chicago, Philadelphia, the Irish don't play. They don't play. And if I was a local representative, I'd be very worried that these guys are maybe looking at me carefully. Yes, absolutely. Kit Bear says, all I can say is whatever happens, they brought it on themselves. Absolutely. They brought it on themselves. These councillors and people like that who are, quite rightly, as these guys say, disrespecting the people who voted for them. So we'll see what comes out of that. Needs to happen. Our Clement says it does. And it's going to happen increasingly. And when it starts in one place, it'll start all over. So if the Irish do it first, the Scots, the English and the Scots will start doing it second. That's the way these things work. So anyway, let me show you another wee thing. These AI things are going mad, aren't they? The AI is a great thing. Well, I say that, I still don't trust it. I think it's going to end up like Skynet. Remember the Terminator film? I think we're going to have to pull a plug out in this stuff at some point in the near future. But anyway, have a look at this. This is a lovely thing that somebody made of the Templars. I don't think it was any of your guys. Maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe Ewan can tell us. I don't know who made this, but it's very lovely. I think it was one of your guys. I think it was Kai Patola. I think it was a guy from Finland or something. I'm not sure. Maybe maybe brother Ewan can tell us. Have a wee look at this. I think it's lovely. Have a look.
When the road stops making sense, when the prayers return unanswered, when the fire fades to embers and the night feels slow and endless, I search my heart for borrowed courage, but find no strength I can explain. And in the place where hope feels quiet, you give me strength to remain. The strength to remain when nothing feels clear. The strength to remain when the answer's not near. Not strength to conquer or to escape the pain, but strength to stay faithful. Strength to remain. I've learned that faith is not always movement, not always doors that open wide. Sometimes faith is standing still with questions screaming deep inside. It's choosing trust over relief, choosing obedience over gain, holding ground with open hands. That is the strength to remain. The strength to remain when the silence is loud, when the world walks away and I'm lost in the crowd. Not strength to shine or to rise and acclaim, but strength to stay rooted. The strength to remain. I watched others run from waiting. I saw hearts trade truth for ease. I felt the pull of compromise, disguised as wisdom and peace. But something deeper held me steady when everything said change your lane. It wasn't pride, it wasn't fear, it was the strength to remain. You were not loud in the moment, you were not rushed to intervene, but you were present in the waiting, working where I couldn't see. You shaped my heart in hidden places, you taught my soul to breathe through pain. And what you formed in that long silence was the strength to remain. The strength to remain when faith feels thin, when staying costs more than walking in. Not strength to feel strong, but strength to be true, to stay where you place me until you move. So if the night stretches longer, if the dawn delays again, I will not rewrite the promise just to end the waiting pain. I trust the hands that hold tomorrow, I trust the truth through you still sustain. Even if all I offer you is staying, I will remain. The strength to remain is not born of control, it's forged in surrender. It's anchored in hope, and if the only victory I carry through the flame is standing here unchanged, then I will stand, I will remain.
Was any of that? Excellent, wasn't it? And that's the whole point. We will remain. Never mind this remigration, and I seen another guy the other day, Bridget Gabriel, I think. You know that she's a mad Zionist, anti-Muslim person in America. Bridget Gabriel. Her advice was for British people to flee. To flee. Miss Gabriel, if you're watching this, we don't flee. We're the British. We don't flee. Do you understand? We had a quarter of the world under our domain at one time. And if you think there are a bunch of people who are one generation away from living in mud huts, in deserts, their only possession being a camel and 6 wives, if you think, even if there's more of them, there is us, if you think they can beat the British, the Scots, the English, the Welsh, and the Irish, you're deluded. You're deluded. Yes, we may become a minority, but we won't be fleeing anywhere. We shall remain. People need to get that through their skulls, and these stupid people are going about remigration. Grow up, man up. Prepare yourself for battle. The battle is soon upon us. We can hear the drums distant in the distance, and soon those drums will be coming over the hill. The battle is growing near. Nearer and nearer by the day. It's not the time to flee. It's the time to raise the red banner of Jesus Christ above us, the blood of the martyrs banner above us, and march forward. For we shall remain. Whether we're in Britain or America or Germany or France or Sweden or Norway or Denmark, anywhere where the European Christians find themselves, we shall remain. Gird your loins. Get ready for the battle. Raise the banners high for Christ. We've seen earlier on 300,000 Ottomans, stormtroopers, were decimated by a 3,000 strong Polish Christian cavalry charge. And we'll do it again and again until we drive them into the sea. They can't stay here. But rather than remigration fantasy, prepare in order to do this. And that's going to take a war. It's as simple as that. It's not my choice. The war is coming. These people smirk at us. They laugh at us because they think they've got us on the ropes. Well, what happens when a boxer hits the ropes? He comes bouncing back off the ropes, and that's when often a boxer is most dangerous. And when we bounce off the ropes, they people better watch out, for we shall remain. End of story. But you know, a lot of the problem with people is they say these things, they talk the talk, they don't walk the walk. And even amongst people like the Templars, who are the best of the best, we've had several people walk away because they didn't like what we were doing or what we said or our opinions on this or opinions on that or a decision we made in this and a decision on that. The biggest risk it's always been to right wing, especially in Britain, because I've been in it all my life and I know all about it, is internal strife. People throw their head up when they don't get their own way or a decision goes away they don't like. They go. How can these people possibly stand up to an external force like the Islamists? How can they people possibly be a beacon to draw people in? One of the main things we learn in Templarism is everything is for the greater good. I am nothing, you are nothing, but as a whole we're something. It's all for the greater good. And sometimes that's not easy, I know that. There's certain things in the past that's happened with the Templars I've not been very pleased about, not been very happy about, but I'm here, for I shall remain. I shall remain until the Lord takes me home. That's what we need to be. But the right wing in this country, my goodness, there's about 1,000 different factions because they split and they split and they split and they split. They don't have the capacity to put themselves aside and think of the greater good, the whole. And that's a problem. So we must do that if we ever dare to remain. But I can tell you something. I don't know how many there'll be in that final day, that great day of the battle here in this country. But if I'm still living, I'll be there. I shall remain. But I know there's thousands of good men and women across this country who shall remain. As a man once said to me in Ireland, he was living in the border and most of his family being killed by the IRA and everything. I said, why don't you move? And he said, I hold what I have. I shall remain. What can you do with a man like that? Nothing. And they couldn't intimidate him. And he's still there. Now, he's lost maybe 7, 8 members of his family, but he remained. And that's what we must do, folks. That's what we must do. Just finish up here now. You know, Lord, exactly. Yes. Blessed be the Lord, my rock, who trains my hands for war and my fingers for battle. Amen. Mitch Cameron says, how you doing, Mitch? Opinions are opinions. Maybe we all stand for something more than that. Exactly. Lady Matrix, I think there are good family men in areas, yep, who don't shout of their patriotism, but it comes to the bit. Absolutely, Lady Matrix. That's the people who will do it. Not all these people that's on the streets now shouting and bawling. People say to us, why don't the Templars do street demos? Why? What for? It's a distraction. It's nonsense. It achieves nothing. We're in the background plotting and preparing because we know it's coming. Mitch Cameron says, "Oh, stand with you in Ulster, Tim." The way Texas is going, we may have to stand in Texas. The Muslims are getting a right foothold there. I don't like it. Indeed, I've been compelled to keep quiet and to train in quiet. Exactly. We have to do what we have to do because the greater goal is the survival of our people and the promotion of the gospel of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Saviour. Amen. That's all that matters. You don't matter. I don't matter. Christ's truth matters. That's it. That's the bottom line. That's it. So, yep. So I'm going to leave you now with a lovely song. It's one of my favourite songs. And sometimes, you know, it's been a terrible few weeks. It's still raining. I mean, Sammy, how long has it been raining here in this country? But how many days have we went without a break at all? Just solid days of rain. Well, we've had rain constantly for 10 weeks, but I think we've went now over 30 days.
Well, it hasn't stopped raining for this whole year so far.
Aye, well, that's it. In Northern Ireland, there's not been a dry day since the 1st of January. And it's now the 13th or something, of 12th of February. And when I say rain, I mean rain, and you wake up, it's pouring the rain. You go out to the priory, the rain's raining all day. You go home at night in the dark, it's raining. It's like one of those dystopian film noir things, you know, like some kind of dystopian nightmare. It's just raining and raining and raining. It's unbelievable and it's depressing. But, you know, when I get depressed, I've got a couple of songs I listen to when I get a wee bit upset and a wee bit maudlin, a wee bit depressed. I'm a Celt, remember? I'm a Celt. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I don't apologise for that. But when I get a bit down in the mouth and things are getting on top of me and maybe, you know, things happen in life and it just takes a bit of, knocks the stuffing out of you a bit. I have a couple of songs I listen to, and this is one of them. It's such a cheery, nice song, and the woman singing it is a Christian. I think all the men in the band are a Christian, but the woman singing it's a Christian. She died recently, and she was such a nice person. She didn't get in for any promiscuous behaviour. She didn't get into drugs or drink, even during the 60s and 70s when all that was big. She refused to participate in it. It's very, very Christian, deeply spiritual lady, and it's one of my favourite songs. It's a cheer-up song for me anyway. Well, it's a cheer-up song, but I'm Celtic, so when we get depressed and we listen to sad songs, that's where country comes from. My dog's died, my woman's left me, all that stuff. That's what we listen to. It cheers us up, but it also makes us a bit melancholy. So I'm going to leave you with this. It's a beautiful song by a group called The Seekers, who are no longer about these days. And this woman, she died quite recently. A good old age she got to, but she was a lovely, lovely woman. This is a lovely song. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it maybe, if anybody's older, you'll maybe remember it. But it's a lovely, lovely song, and it's lovely sentiment in life. And only in life, if we could find somebody like that, it would be amazing. You know, somebody that you could not live another day without. That'd be wonderful. Well, I've got somebody. Look, there she is. Here, Holly. There she is. Look at that dog, that fine dog. She's broke down now, so she's a wee bit quiet. But she's a nice dog. So I'm going to leave you with this. Get down, dog. I'll leave you with this song, and I'll be back with you. If not tomorrow, or I don't know if Jade is doing tomorrow. I'm not sure. I think we're reverting back to our old schedule. I don't know. We'll have to see. But at the very least, if God spares me, I'll be with you on Sunday. So until then, remember, stick close to God. You won't go far wrong. Dus Vault.
Take 11.
Probably a good thing.
You ready? Right, let's make this the one.